Hello, Internet. Hello, YouTube. I'm so excited to be here hosting the weekly wake up for Hey You Human. As you are jumping on, I've actually never done a YouTube live. So as you're jumping on, I'd love to see the comments to just know that, yes, we are seen, we are heard, we are live, we are broadcasting, if you will. I will give everybody just a few seconds to join us because this is a live. Sorry, don't mind my bliss decks. I'm getting ready to do a lot of talking, a lot of thinking, a lot of feeling. So yes, as you're jumping on, say hello. I hope you can all see me, hear me. Just gonna give it a few seconds. Gotta love the awkward delay of me just chit-chatting to myself. So be sure to say hi. Let me know where you're coming from. Let me know where you're joining us from. I know Sarah just ended day 2 about the truth about money, which was fantastic. I'm actually, while we're waiting, I have the link here because this was such a powerful 2-day course that she ran, and we're making the replays available. So I'm going to drop the link in because I'm going to draw a couple of comments or draw a couple of parallels to what she said in day 2 today for people who are coming from one event to the other to really talk about not just money. We've been talking a lot about money inside of our membership, not just money, but support and worthiness and feeling valued and feeling deserving, feeling enough. We've been talking a lot about that inside our world, in our free community, and then of course inside the Happy Human membership. And it's so interesting because money is like the goal. And so many of us focus on money, but we don't need to focus on money. It's like the tip of the iceberg. It's what we see, and it's that meat, that piece beneath the surface that we really need to focus on. So all of that said, I'm just gonna quickly pop into our app to make sure everybody knows that we are live on YouTube. I see a few people starting to join. Please feel free to say hi. Hi, Jody. For people who have done lives with me before, I love the good comment. I love the comments. It just makes me feel like, okay, good. People are here. They're seeing me. I usually have no problem talking to air. But it's always good to know that you have an audience and that they're connecting with what you're saying. So as people are joining, I'm really curious to see how many of you have been on the weekly wake up before, if this is your first time, or if you're a seasoned vet, if you're like, no, I'm here every single Wednesday. Hi, Anita. Hi, Lori. Okay, great. We're going and flowing. So for those of you, hey, Gail, for those of you who are new, welcome to the Hey You Human Weekly Wake Up. My name is Melissa Meller. I'm the CEO of Hey You Human. Normally we have Sarah Longoria, our founder here, but she was unavailable. And so I've decided I'm going to come in and run our weekly wake up. Yes, Jody, I know you're here every single week. You never miss it. I love it. Lori, this is your first time. Welcome. You're in for a treat. You get me today. Normally we have Sarah running this, but she's unavailable. So today I'm running it. If you're new to Hey You Human is, we basically teach people how to be happy, how to feel genuinely happy, genuinely connected to their life, really connecting in with your emotions in such a different way. Our weekly wake up is our free community event to just connect in with your emotions, connect in with your body, connect in with the things that you've kind of pushed to the side and start bringing our awareness into our emotions. And our emotions, for people who are new to Hey You Human, our emotions are, I always say, like, the brain is the command center of your body, but your emotions are the puppet master. Your emotions are the things that are running the show. And your emotions are usually going on beneath the surface completely, you're completely unaware of them. We have our conscious emotions. We know when we're angry, we know when we're irritated, we know when we're stressed, we know when we're feeling frustrated or we're burnt out. But we have a ton of other things going on beneath the surface. And so at Hey You Human, we teach you how to trudge up those emotions and clear them to remove any blocks from being genuinely happy. A lot of us go through life trying to be happy, trying to make conscious decisions to be happy. We put up boundaries, we change our work environment, we give our rules around how to be treated so that we can feel happy. That's not genuine happiness. That's working on your happiness. We teach you how to be genuinely happy. So you get out of bed and you don't have aches and pains in your body. You have an appreciation for every single moment that goes on in your life, even the daily grind, even the daily commute, even the making lunches, even the deadlines, even money struggles. We've been talking about money inside of our world lately. Genuine happiness is not contingent on what's going on in your external environment. And that's what we do at Hey You Human. Hi, Tasha. So let's dive in. Actually, excuse me, before we dive in, for people who are new, we are going to be using the rapid relief technique today. The rapid relief technique is Hey You Human's proprietary method that we use to trudge up emotions and clear them in a very easy, non-threatening way. I always say it's clearing emotions outside of an emotional state, which is great because a lot of times we feel our emotions when we're like past the point of no return, right? You lash out on your kid, you lash out on your husband, you say the thing to someone that you don't want to say to your parents, you make some snarky ass comment and you're like, shoot, I shouldn't have done that. The rapid relief techniques, I was with Sarah before Hey You Human, but I gave up on myself. Laura, you're not alone, girl. I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you're here and you've decided to come back. The rapid relief technique is what brings up emotions outside of an emotional state. It's true emotional health. It's true emotional awareness. And I'm going to drop a link in the chat here. If you don't know the rapid relief technique, you're welcome to go and learn it completely for free. It's a 3-module course where you learn the basics of the rapid relief technique, how it works, and why it works so dang good. So today I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to kind of preface our session today, and we're going to do some tappings together, do some clearings, and then we're going to do some anchoring in. So originally, I was wanting to talk about support. I was wanting to talk about letting support into our lives, feeling supported, feeling loved. We've been talking a lot about money. And like I said, money is a byproduct of your belief and energy, your belief system, your coding, your DNA in your body. And so we can do all the mindset stuff. We can do all the affirmations. We can do all of the meditations we want. If at our core, we do not believe we get to be supported, we get to be happy, that life gets to be easy and flowy, it creates kind of like an energetic, electric barrier around our bubble. Jody, support and lack thereof is a big one for me. I fear you. I feel you. Creates this bubble. It creates this barrier. And so if you watch The Truth About Money, day 2 today, that just concluded here, Sarah talks about how, we can do all the work, but we have this barrier preventing us from receiving what we've been working on so dang hard. And they just kind of like ping off of us. And today I really want to talk about support because for so many people, women especially, but not exclusive to women, we feel like we're the servant of our own life, to our kids, to our spouse, to our job. We are a servant to everybody except for ourselves. We think that serving ourselves means taking a warm bath, giving yourself time out, doing a course, doing the work, doing the energetic work that we need, going and getting a massage or a pedicure, lunch with a friend. That's not serving yourself. It's very external. Serving yourself is something that happens so deep on the inside. No one even knows it's going on, but you can feel it. Your life feels differently. And so many of us have a really hard time letting that go because we've been conditioned to be servants. Think about, when you were young, about having to be nice, having to always consider other people's feelings. What are some of the things that you learned as a child in terms of considering everybody else before yourself? Think of how that person feels, especially as mothers, Anita. Absolutely. And it's not a bad thing. Where I think people get a little bit confused is we think that by serving ourselves and allowing ourselves to be supported, that means we're pushing the responsibility onto someone else. Mm-mm. Especially as mothers, to your comment, Anita, we feel that by putting up boundaries or not serving our family or our kids, and that means that we're now neglecting our family and our kids. Right? We're either serving them or we're not. It's not that black and white. Allowing support in is a very internal experience. It's a very personal experience. And it's our belief system. I remember specifically working on support. I've shared this story a few times, so I'm sorry for long-time followers if you've seen this or if you've heard this already. But I love this story because it just shows what support actually looks like and feels like in our life. About a year ago, one of our amazing people, she was at the time was helping manage my calendar and my events, and she had just plopped a time for her and I to meet, half an hour time slot on my calendar. And I don't know, 4 or 5 days before that scheduled time, say it was like on a Thursday, on Monday, I looked at my calendar and I noticed that this was like plopped on my calendar. This was her job. This is what like her job was. But I had a ton of emotions around this, a ton of emotions. Why? I don't know. I didn't know at the time. I didn't know. And it was just this feeling of somebody controlling me, of me giving up this control to my precious schedule of all things, which I had plenty of time. It's not about, it's not about the time. It was the emotion, the emotional response. I actually call it a visceral response. It's how your body responds to stimulus. Something as small as a calendar, a 30-minute block on my calendar brought up a response. And I was just going to shoo it away, right? Our natural inclination is like, oh my God, this isn't a big deal. Relax. She was doing her job. This is exactly what you want. I totally could have wished it away. This is what support feels like, Melissa. Someone's just taking care of your calendar for you. This is what it means to let people in. I could have made 1,000 of excuses. And honestly, I did. For a hot second, I did. And then I stopped and I thought, no, there's something here. Why is something as insignificant as a calendar, as a 30-minute block on my Thursday, irking me? You know that feeling? You feel hot in your throat or your heart or your stomach, or you start getting like aches and pains. You can't really focus. You're maybe sweating. Your body is responding to something. How grand it is completely irrelevant. It is completely irrelevant. Your body is talking to you. Your body is saying something. And I went into my favorite place, my car, my vessel, my cone of silence. I went into my car and I just started using the rapid relief technique, and I started tapping, and I was so annoyed, like so irritated. The emotions started coming out. It was completely illogical. And that's what anybody who's doing this work, if you're new to this work, emotions are not logical. We try and make them mean something and they're not. We try and do it's okay. It's not a big, oh my God, it's not a big deal. It's fine. We try and convince ourselves. It's almost like we're gaslighting ourselves, right? Like we're like, oh, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's not a big deal. And your body is like, warning. Emotions are not logical. We've been trained to believe that emotions mean something physical. They don't. They're like the dashboard on your car. They're saying, hey, pay attention to me, please, and thank you. hello, 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 there's something there. They're like the kid, mom, 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 mom. And you're like, ah, right? It's just sitting in there. So I go into my car, I use the rapid relief technique and I just start tapping and I'm irritated. I'm like, she's probably going to ask for a raise. Nothing I do is ever good enough. Like all of these like insane assumptions are flowing out of my body from a calendar invite, you guys. And then I saw it. I saw the moment. I saw little Melissa at, I don't know, I must have been like 13. I was old enough to be home alone. I was home alone. And my parents had asked me to start dinner, to just get dinner started. They were running my two other sisters to activities and they're like, just get dinner started. I know, call Child Protective Services. That is insane, right? I remember this moment. I remember feeling, I had this flash, this out of body experience while I was tapping of watching myself wipe down the counter and feel so alone and feeling the weight of the world on my shoulders. Feeling like my family was depending on me. What my parents asked me was not unreasonable. What my parents asked of me, I call it blink and miss it moments. They were absolutely in their right to ask their child to like put a pot on the stove with boiling water and like just get a couple of things started. That does not negate the feelings that I had in that moment. And that lived with me for the rest of my life. This feeling of the weight of the world being on my shoulders, it's my responsibility. I'm the one that's holding all of this together. Now, why I jumped to that conclusion, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Why I had that emotional response doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if my parents said please or thank you. It doesn't matter if they said, you Cinderella, get this done. It doesn't matter. The feeling, that coding that started in my life created a belief system around who I was in my life for the rest of my life. I felt validation when I did those things. My worthiness came through. If people need me, I'm valuable. And then we wonder why we can't allow support in. We can't allow other people to show up for us. We can't drop the ball. It shapes who we are. And so when we talk about money, when we have this heaviness, the weight of the world on our shoulders, when we have this feeling that you're responsible for everything, it does not allow other people to swoop in and hold you and support you. And again, this isn't support, doesn't mean your husband folds the laundry. That's a byproduct of what your belief system is in your body. And for those of you who are new, this is not a conscious thought. This isn't a conscious decision you're making. This is run by your emotions, by your coding, by your programming, by all the little nuggets that you've picked up throughout your childhood and learned, yep, this is good. This is good. This is good. This is not good. And now we get to undo it. And it can feel a little clunky and a little awkward as adults. When kids learn this in childhood, it's just so much different. But as adults, we're awkward because our body has started to create a belief system and we've trained our brain to say, oh, if we allow support in, if somebody else supports me, I'll be disappointed. I have to work for what I have, for what I want. If you want to do something, you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. If you're going to show up, give it 110%. What if our belief system was that showing up at 50% capacity made us money, was enough, was more than enough? Pardon moi? Right? What parent has ever been like, oh, you half-assed it? Oh my God, I'm so proud of you, right? That's not what we hear. That's not what we learn. So then we wonder why can't life feel easy? Why can't life feel fun and flowy? Why can't money just flow to me? Because you have a belief system that you have to give it 110%. You have to do more than what your max capacity is to earn a dollar. So it's not about changing your money mindset. It's about changing the energy that you hold around your worth. But it's not mindset. It is your belief system. It's a subconscious belief that you're holding. It's a subconscious energy that you're holding. It's all kind of like the metadata in your human that's telling your brain, like, yeah, we're good. We're good. We're safe. This is right. Yep, this is right. But right now, that metadata is like, oh, no. Your husband's folding the laundry the wrong way, idiot. Or whatever your stupid annoyance is, right? Especially with our kids, giving our kids. I love that, Gail. Feel all of that. Thank you. I'm glad. My kids fold their clothes and put their clothes away. My kids are young. They're 4, 7, and 9. So the 9-year-old's not that young, but they've been folding their clothes and putting their clothes away since they were 4. It used to give me the biggest anxiety. Right? They're all like pleased with themselves, taking their little stacks of clothes, folded, putting it away. And it's like things hanging out of their dressers. The pajamas are not with the pajamas. Right? Oh my God. It used to just give me so much anxiety. Pardon? Why does that matter? Why does that piss you off so much? Because it's not right. Okay, so this is our die on the hill moment. Like I think so many of our things that we just let our emotions run the show and we forget that, like, oh my God, it's not the end of the world. They're learning. But we talk ourselves out of our emotions. To me, that feels very supportive. My kids now, now I'm like, all right, there's a pile of clothes in the dryer. Get to it. And they do it. Sometimes they complain, but they're kids. Oh, why do we have to do laundry? We just did it 3 days ago. Yeah. That feels good for me to let it go. They do it their way. And they try. Like, they're not just taking dirty clothes and they're trying. They're doing their best. Not my best. They're doing their best. And that feels really good for me. That's a form of support for me that feels really good. My kids are helping and contributing. And I don't need to focus on what they're doing wrong. It just feels good. So now they come home, they come into my office. I'm downstairs, they come into my office and they're like, all right, what chores do we have today? That feels really good. But it did not feel good in the beginning. So that's what we're going to talk about. That's what we're going to anchor into is letting go and allowing support in. So for people who are new, if you're new to the Rapid Relief Technique, again, I dropped the link for the Rapid Relief Technique RRT Accelerator course. You're welcome to kind of back out of this and head over to that training if you wish, or you can just follow along. So people who may be familiar with, I'm going to actually pull my hair up because we're going to get intense. For people that are familiar with EFT or TFT, this is similar in practice, but not in theory. Similar in practice. So we're following the same tapping points. We're using light to moderate pressure on some key points on our body. Don't overthink this. I always say, don't get academic about this. Get out of your head. That's the hard part, getting out of our head and dropping into our feelings, into our emotions. So if you're familiar with EFT, TFT, any type of, tapping, we're using the same points above the eyebrow, side of the eye, top of the cheek, above the lip, chin. Hey, Amy. Under the collarbone, and then kind of like just below your nipple on the side here. You can use 2. Don't overthink it. You can use 1. Oh, sorry. And I forgot top of the head. I always skip top of the head. You can use 2 You can use one. Sometimes when I'm really getting into it, I just start going to town. Do your own thing. Do whatever feels good. Do not overthink this. If you feel like you want to stay in one spot a little bit longer, that is okay. I'm glad, Amy. I hope. You're so gifted. So now I feel nervous. If I say something that strikes a chord with you, feel free to mute me and go down your own rabbit hole and then come on back to anchor in. Everyone's experience is going to feel a little bit different. That is normal. I might get through 3/4 of the way and you might just be kind of rolling your eyes. Stick with it. If your brain starts wandering and you want to say or express something else, you're allowed to do that. I'm simply a facilitator. What you do, you don't need to follow me exactly, but the point is we're starting to create an emotional experience. And if you feel like crying, if you feel like getting angry, like yelling, like scream, do it. Get it out. That is the whole purpose of today. And then we're going to come back and anchor into the feeling of support. All right, guys, I'm going to talk out loud. It is my recommendation that you say the words out loud. Many of us have a very difficult time speaking our truth, saying our emotions, physically saying them, especially women. So if you're somebody that has a hard time finding their voice, finding courage, even if it feels so damn awkward, try and say the words. And if you don't have an emotional experience, but you said the words, that is a win. Let's dive in, guys. Let's take a deep breath and just start tapping. Guys, the emotions are coming up for me already. Nobody supports me. Nobody supports me. Nobody supports me. I'm always so alone. I'm always alone. Nobody cares enough to see that I need help. Nobody sees me. Nobody sees me. I'm just not good enough. I'm not important enough. I'm not worth anybody else's time or consideration. I'm just so alone. I am just so alone. And I'm tired of being alone. I am so tired of being alone. I'm constantly surrounded by so many people, but I feel like nobody sees me. Nobody sees me. Nobody sees that I need help. I say it, I do all the things, but nobody sees me. Why am I not good enough for anybody else? Nobody supports me. Everything is my responsibility all the time. Everything is my responsibility all the time. If I don't do it, it doesn't get done. If I don't do it, it doesn't get done. Everything is my fault. Everything is on me. All the time. There's no break. There's never a break. It's just me all the time. Just me. It's always just me. Why won't anybody help me? Why won't anybody help me? Why won't anybody support me? What do I have to do? What the fuck do I have to do? I've done everything for everybody and nobody looks after me. Nobody looks after me. I'm like a ghost. I don't matter. I just don't matter. If people cared about me, they would help me. But nobody helps me. Nobody helps me. Nobody helps me. I'm just alone. I'm always going to be alone. It's always me. It is always me. It's always my responsibility. It's always on me. If I take my eye off the ball for 1 second, everything fucking falls apart. If I'm not perfect, if I'm not doing all of the things, if I'm not keeping everything going, it's just a fucking mess all the time. Everything is such a mess all the time. I'm messy. I'm a slob. I'm just so fucking gross. And if I don't hold it together, everyone's going to see it. They're going to see what a loser I am. That I'm nothing special. I mean, clearly I'm not special. Clearly I'm not worth it. Okay, beautiful people. If you still have emotions that you need to go through it now. But I'm going to start anchoring in. I don't personally like to tap while I'm anchoring in. I like to hold my human. But if you like to tap while we anchor in, go ahead. Just touch yourself if that's what you like to do. Hug yourself. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. That was really hard. You're so important. You are so worthy. I deserve to be supported. I am supported. Every day I am supported. I'm allowed to let other people in. I'm allowed to let it go. I'm allowed to be loved just as I am. I am perfect just as I am. You don't need to do anything to be loved. You do not need to do anything to deserve love. You are perfect just how you are. And I want you to just imagine what I'm feeling anyways. I typically like to actually have music playing, but I want you to just envision your heart and almost like you're Your ribs are just kind of opening up and allowing your heart to be vulnerable. Just imagine some light, some gold light just going right through your heart, your love. Allow it to shine. Allow it to be seen and know that it doesn't matter what life throws at you. You can handle it. You are strong. You are perfect just how you are. You deserve support. You deserve love. And just imagine that white light, just that gold light, just, this is not a relaxing view, but like the Grinch, your heart is growing 10 sizes. You're just so full of love, and it's not coming from anybody else but yourself. And if you can't see that today, that is okay. If you can't imagine your heart being full of gold, light, of love, of beauty, that is okay. But if you still feel this feeling of lack of deserving, explore it. Keep tapping, keep feeling those feelings, keep letting them go. That was a quick tapping today, but for me, it was good. Was it good for you? That felt good. If you still have more work to do on it, if it still feels raw, go with it. Feel free to come back and watch the replay and do it again and again and again. If this is a reminder that you need to have in your life. Oh, thank you, Amy. Thank you, Jody. I'm so glad. It would be my recommendation if you have 10 minutes. If you're somebody who finds music therapeutic, I always like at the end of like when I'm having like a release, an emotional experience, I like just putting my headphones in and just coming back into my body and just feeling my body just being full of positive and love. Gail, I'm glad it got the emotions flowing. Wendy, that's okay. The replay will live here forever. So before we sign off, one thing I forgot to mention in advance of the tapping was, yes, we use the same points as EFT and TFT, but we're not looking to neutralize our emotional experience. EFT and TFT really take your emotion, they take you from an emotional state and bring you back to neutral. So you'll notice, again, for people who are new, I was saying a lot of things that might be misconstrued as self-hate, as negativity. I want to remind everybody that there's no good emotions or bad emotions. There's just emotions. And you can say your emotions out loud or not. Doesn't matter. They still live in you. You give those emotions power when you pretend that they're not there. So if you don't feel good enough, if you don't feel worthy, if you don't feel, or if you feel like everything is your responsibility, if you feel these feelings, if you think that you're a loser, if you think that you're ugly, if you think that you're gross, if you had a natural inclination to say those things, like I don't consciously think those things about myself. I really don't. But something does. And so give yourself permission to say and feel all the things. It's not going to be logical. It's not going to be logical. When I said you're such a loser, literally it came out of my body and my head was like, why the hell did you say that? I'm fantastic. But sometimes as our emotions are flowing, those deep things that we can't put our finger on start to come up. And that is the point of the rapid relief technique, is to trudge up those emotions and let them out of your body. Feel them and release them and move on. As long as we keep that in our vessel, I mean, we're a finite amount of space. As long as we keep that in our vessel, there's not going to be space for the new easy flow that we're desiring to bring into our life, whether it's money, whether it's support, whether it's our dream job, whether it's our business, our dream partner in life, the relationship with our kids, our relationship with our body, whatever it is. We are not going to be able to change that if we're holding on to these things that we don't even know we're hanging on to. And so with our RT, our goal is, in a controlled environment, ideally, is to bring those emotions up into the surface, feel them, release them, and anchor in to our new energy, the new programming. We want to get rid of the old programming and put the newest software in there. We really are like a computer, right? When you get a new computer and they're like, okay, we got an upgrade. Yeah, they're giving you the new system, but they're also uninstalling all the old shit that your computer doesn't need anymore. Like when you get Windows 10, do you still keep Windows 1993 just in case you might need it one day? No, you're like onwards and upwards. Thank you. It serves you literally nothing. It's an inconvenience. And these things that we're holding on to are operating the same way. We might think that when we're doing mindset work or think a better feeling thought or doing a meditation or an affirmation, that like that's getting to the root. It is not. We want to clear out that old stuff so that we have space to overlay the new stuff, the good stuff, our new belief system. Oh, hi, Ellie. I had tears on the anchoring in. I'm so happy to hear that. And as my final comment to anybody who's not inside of the Happy Human membership, we would love to have you. This is where you have a full pathway of shit that you get to go exploring. We have a full system to help you get rid of all the old stuff to make the space for the good stuff. As long as we're holding on to the old, we're never going to have the space for the good. It's like packing a suitcase, when you go on a trip and you're like, I'm not going to overpack this time. And then you're like, oh, you got it all packed. And you're like, oh shit, I need like those heels for that dinner. And so you like shove it in and you're like ripping a zipper, trying to get it all in. And then you get to the airport and they're like, oh, sorry, you're overweight. And you're like, fuck, you knew it. So you still have to take the old stuff out anyways. Take the old stuff out. Take the old stuff out. And if you don't know how to do that alone, we would love to have you inside the Happy Human membership. I'm actually going to drop one more link, unless Amy, you have it handy. We have, Amy, if you have it handy, that would be lovely. We have a bonus going on right now until Friday. If you join the Happy Human membership, you get the wealth code, lifetime access to the wealth code for free, which is amazing. So you can do all the emotional work and the money work so that it's like out with the old, in with the new, out with the old, in with the new. And you will also get VIP access to our Heal Retreat, which is going to be an incredible weekend. It's virtual, but it is going to be a beautiful emotional experience. This is going to be your place to just allow us, like the claw, to like dive in and pull all that old icky stuff out and anchor into the new, to the beautiful, to the new energy that you want to hold. So, and you also save $200 on the 12-month membership. So you can get the 12-month membership for $797 as opposed to $997. You get the wealth code for free, which is $397 value. You get the Heal VIP retreat, which is $397 as well. So you get almost $1,000 of value if you join before Friday. If you're watching after Friday, if you're watching the replay after Friday, if you stumble upon this and you're like, okay, amazing, damn, I missed it, feel free to email us at support@heyyouhuman.com and see if there's any other stuff going on. Because we always have like fun events, fun activities. I know we have a bunch of people who are in the membership on with us live. The membership is life-changing. You're so supported. You are so seen. It's just so different than anything else that is out there. And it has everything you could ever possibly need. I'm going to grab the link to the membership just so that we have it in the feed here for people that watch the replay. I found it, Amy. The membership is incredible. It's really beautiful. It's an opportunity to become the person that I think is calling inside of you. The next weekly wake up I do, whenever it is, I really want to focus on who you really want to be and really identifying those gaps. Oh yeah, Amy, you know what? Yours probably isn't posted because it's looking like self-promotion. That makes sense. Thank you. Thank you for looking. Finding the gaps between the person you are today and the feelings that that you're missing out on. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Thank you for all of your comments. If you're watching the replay, feel free to drop comments as well. We go through all of them. We read and respond to all of them. I wish you all an absolutely beautiful day. And I hope to see you all inside of our community. Thank you.